The village of Shangtong is terrorized by a giant snake that periodically attacks its inhabitants. A traveling shaman who offers his help turns out to be a fraud who is exposed by Linglong, a disciple of the great Taoist. Linglong has come to the village to catch the snake and use it to break the curse, but the snake is also being hunted by a group of Japanese soldiers, who need it for their own purposes. Just a couple of years ago, Chinese internet cinema was on an unprecedented upswing. Movies had growing budgets, new genres were being explored, and new trends were emerging. But unfortunately, the fervor of Chinese filmmakers was not supported by the audience. The box office of films made for online streaming gradually began to decline, until it became clear that the earnings that the producers of any more or less professionally made mediocre film could safely count on in 2020, were no longer to be expected in 2024. This could not help but affect the industry, which reacted lightning fast and in several directions at once: a general decline in the number of films produced and the almost complete vanishing of mid-budget movies. Now there are only big expensive movies that have no chance to fail, and cheap thrash, shot on a budget, which in Hollywood goes to food for the extras. How the latter movies look, you can see in the example of fantasy adventure action film The Strange Snake Story in Shangtong Village. First, the movie clearly had censorship problems at some point, because its plot was severely cut and built into the framing story of a grandfather and his grandson, who records the story told to him. Since it involves not only giant snakes and miraculous flowers filled with yin energy, but also demonesses, the screenwriters take double insurance. First by explaining that it's all just a story told by a grandfather who's losing his memory, and then by clarifying that none of this happened to the characters, just that at the entrance to the snake cave they inhaled poisonous fumes and fell into a mass hallucination. Obviously, with so many subplots and explanatory footnotes, the plot is far from coherent. It's not always easy to understand what's going on. But the main thing is that you don't want to get into what's going on, because the movie looks as poor as possible, and its authors saved money on everything, from action and computer graphics to scenery and extras. In some moments it hurts to look at the screen almost on a physical level, especially the moments with the giant snake, which looks so bad, as if it's not 2024, but 2015, and Chinese online cinema is taking its first steps. It's a boring, lowbrow thrash, whose creators, of course, didn't earn anything, but further damaged the reputation of internet cinema by putting a couple of extra nails in the lid of its coffin.